Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, at the channel we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we do not want the criminal supporters and their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madness. Moving on to our video. Yeah, so if you look at the LCD, you will see that reminding people that coming July 4th, would be the WhatsApp group will be that will be we transition to the Patreon platform where it's more secure for people to converse with us and in a healthy manner. They don't have to worry about their safety, the security and confidentiality and them identity, because that the platform was invaded by people of corrupt people, you understand? So that's the reason why we had to change. We had to change the platform to something more secure. So we are now on Patreon. But some people in life, they as I said, at times change don't necessarily mean progress, but in life you have to learn to accept changes. But we at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we know that changes in this regard is progress. So as you can look right now on your LCD, with the crime thing in Jamaica, people are talking about, we at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we have already stated that we know that the PNP LGBTQ plus party, and we say it without any apology, none, because we are from the belly of the beast, where it all started. And so we know that the PNP, they are not interested in that because they have no value for people's life. Remember that the PNP, leader Mark Golding say he wants 8 years of murderers. Yes, so that, and they can get parole. Just hope they don't kill somebody for him so that he can experience what others are experiencing in Jamaica. You understand? Because I don't know how, on God's earth, you as a father and a grandfather want, you want 8 years of somebody who kill another human being. We don't subscribe to that madness, because we believe that when time you kill somebody, your life even Stevens. That's what we believe here. So that is one of the main reasons why we don't watch, because we come from a PNP community. That's one of the main reasons why we love Edward Seaga. Because on Tuesday, March 16, 1982, Prime Minister Edward Seaga broke the neck of a policeman at Spanish Town prison, or you call it workhouse. You understand? So Jamaica needs a prime minister who drive fear into the hearts of criminals, especially killers. And here we are going to tell you of a policeman who befriended his lover's husband and then choke him to death. The policeman devious, friend up the man, him do with the man's wife, and then in front of the man, and then, boy, I tell you, so you will hear it. So the policeman who befriended his lover's husband and then choke him to death, the policeman was arrested and charged with murder and was convicted of murder. But this is it now. If it's right now, that would not be murder, because the PNP, they have watered down the offense of going to personal. When you kill somebody, they water it down, put on, you know, certain value to people's life. If you are from a certain, if you kill people in a certain way, it's not considered murder. It's manslaughter and all of that. When Siaga was Prime Minister, you kill somebody with a knife or throat them, that is murder. So it's a death penalty automatically. So the PMP through PGA participate because the man are criminal supporter and enabler, you know, and financiers. Yes. If you value the life of others, not because it's not affecting you, you have to think of the other person. The people them who look like you or don't look like you as you equal human beings. You understand? So you put their lives on the same pedestal as you. You put everybody's life supposed to have the same value. But because most of the people who are being killed are poor people, so yeah, you just put them, categorize them, your life now no value on them thing there. And you know that's how it is. So, you know, this policeman who shot the man to death when Siaga was Prime Minister, if it was now him alright and them thing there, even a policeman who kill a man, shoot him downtown on police. Him used to be at flying squad named Diaz. You understand? Couldn't control himself. Him supposed to be in the office at flying squad at the time. And Douglas Guthrie and all them man, they beg him to behave himself, and him shoot the man because of ego. You know, just behave himself and end up in prison. Now I understand that he's on parole. But that's how it is. Was Siaga was Prime Minister, his neck would broke. Look, we have there's no we don't make no apologies with that because we support it. Even Stephen. You can't kill a man cold-blooded as a policeman and expect a boy because you're a police, you're supposed to get preferential treatment. No, you understand? So, the policeman was arrested and charged with murder and convicted of murder. He did not shoot the man. He choked him to death. And Edward Siaga let him pay with his life. Even Stephen. That's what we call it. Even Stevens. Yes. And that's the best way to do the same to killers. You take the life of someone without justification, then it's even Stevens. Your time to lose yours. That's why we love Edward Siaga. We don't care what anybody wants to say. Romantic lover usually happen between two persons, but sometimes when a third person enters the equation, death itself can be the ultimate price. In March 1975, a 27-year-old constable, Sidney Campbell, then attached to the police traffic department, faced the #1 Home Circuit Court and was sentenced to death for murdering his former lover's husband. Campbell was said to have garroted, killed someone by strangulation, typically with an iron collar or a length of wire or cord with an electric cord, as he choked all. The husband sat by an open window in his living room watching television. The policeman was condemned to death not once but twice in 2 different trials for the same murder. Following appeals, he was to pay the supreme penalty by hanging on the gallows of the St. Catherine District Prison at Spanish Town on Tuesday, March 16, 1982. Coincidentally, the final year of riding in Jamaica. The case for the prosecution was presented by the late Martin L. Wright, QC, later Judge of Appeal, and Crown Counsel Maurice Reckford, later Pusey Judge, and he's retired. Campbell, whose defense was an alibi, was defended by Bertram Macaulay, QC, and attorney at law Keith St. Bernard. And Bernard dead. Yeah. You know, so we just go back in history, educate the people to let them know, say, Siaga never play. You understand? So the judge and the jury had heard evidence over 9 days as how on the night of May 18, 1974, the victim, 41-year-old Richard Mills, proprietor of 7 Seas. Yeah, I remember they used to have a vitamin them called 7 Seas, and them used to advertise it on TV. You understand? Yeah. 7 Seas restaurant at Half a Tree in St. Andrew. had let out what was described as a terrible choking scream, which attracted not only the family household helper but several neighbors. Shortly after, according to the prosecution, a man wearing a dark clothes and a pair of black leather gloves were seen by a witness. So, you know, the man thinks him can do things and get away. You understand? Yeah, somebody always see. You understand? You know, so them, you know, the witness saw him carrying Mills' limp body to his car, which was parked in the yard at Woodhaven Avenue, Arlene Gardens, Kingston 10. That man the prosecution charged was Sidney Campbell, one sworn to uphold the law, serve and protect. The prosecution further alleged that Campbell placed Mills in the front seat of the motor car and subsequently fled after he failed to start the car, and the neighbor's suspicions were aroused. The prosecution would also show that Campbell, who had been in the police force for 7 years, so he was like a, I don't know, had first become a regular customer of the Seven Seas restaurant in Alpha Tree, then a close friend of the proprietor, the deceased man, and his wife. In the first trial before the late Justice V.C. Melville, J. Celestine Mills, the Bermudian-born wife of the dead man, testified that she had met Campbell in the late 1972 at the restaurants she had operated jointly with her husband. Then, in the long hot summer of 1973, she and Campbell became intimate. They became very friendly and even assisted her in running the restaurant. Mrs. Mills described the number of occasions she and the accused went to dinner or nightclubs together. During the period, she said Campbell was being paid for his help in the supervision of running of the restaurant and was visiting the Mills home frequently. Then in February 1974, Mrs. Mill related how her husband started to show annoyance at the friendship between herself and Campbell. Then if the man I eat, I said the man said, you know, the man and his wife close. He must make her, must, annoyed by, but you know, woman how she lies, she gotta tell him all kind of things. Cause she hire him, cause she and him there and she hired the policeman. What this man Campbell, you don't know how you feel do that. And all the man all in our house are so man still, man. You understand? About the husband annoying. So he told them he was going to the United States for a visit, but instead stay in Jamaica. And early one Sunday morning, he surprised them together in Campbell's apartment. The court heard from the deceased wife what she described as an heated argument involving the three of them, which followed later in Mills' home and ended with Richard Mills calling the police to escort the accused from his house. Yeah, boy, I mean, I tell you. So Mills, so them have a heated argument involving the three of them, which followed later in the Mills home and ended with Richard Mills causing the police to escort the accused from his house. So him guard the man yard and the man called the police. The man shouldn't even have to call the police. He's supposed to leave because I know your yard, but I saw him be a face, So Celestine Mills said that after that morning she broke off the relationship with Campbell and her marriage was saved. She said that her lover took the breakup calmly. She told the court that she and Mills had been progressing back to a happy relationship before he was killed. The helper in the Mills home at the time of the incident, Ivy Grasser, testified that on May 18, 1974, Mr. Mills had returned home after taking his small son to a birthday party next door. She saw him watching television by the open window in the living room. Grasser called the next door neighbor, Christine Mitchell, who was a trained nurse. She said she heard horrible gagging scream from the deceased sometime later. She ran in the direction of the noise and found Mills' body lying on the floor. Mitchell told the court that in response to that call, she rushed to the Mills home taking a flashlight and some smelling salt. On the way, the nurse ran into Campbell, who was clad in the dark clothes and wearing a pair of black gloves, he was carrying the prone body of Mills from the house. She testified further that Campbell had told her that Mills was ill and he was taking him to the doctor. Dr. Noel Marsh, the pathologist who performed the postmortem, disclosed that Mills was strangled by a cord or brand. Death was due to strangulation. Evidence was also adduced from the late Detective Inspector Albert Richards of Flying Squad, Kingston, and him later become a detective superintendent and him retire. That he went to the deceased home, acting on report. On arrival there, he said he saw the deceased sitting alone in the front seat of the car. He appeared to be dead. Further inquiries with the said witnesses led him to 8 Renfrew Road, where he saw the accused Campbell in a room where he spoke to him. The late Detective Inspector Cleon D. Aguilar of the Constant Spring Police Station, Detective Superintendent retire, who arrested and charged the accused, also gave evidence. At the close of the prosecution, Campbell made an unsworn statement from the dock in which he denied that he was in the Mills house that night and that he had killed Richard Mills. He claimed he was at home at Courtly Manor apartment from Saturday night, reading and listening to the radio and sleeping until the following day when the police woke him up. The judge summing up lasted for 5 hours and 20 minutes. As the summing up progressed, the crowd outside the courtroom grew larger inside the packed to capacity courtroom. The atmosphere grew tense as time passed by for the jury to retire to consider their verdict. Sitting in the dock, Campbell appeared calm and confident. During the last hours of the trial, the Supreme Court building was surrounded by riot police, as according to the police reports, the crowd feeling was so strong that it was feared that there would be trouble if the verdict should return as not guilty. Then came the moment. The jury retired to consider their verdict. In 10 minutes they were back. There was deathly silence. For 10 minutes, it's either one of two things, say it's either guilty or not guilty, but based on the testimony and everything, because remember, most of the jurors them from the Kingston Metropolitan, because them now make the people them from the low IQ communities come and be a juror, because them are criminal minded people, so them are lego the criminal them. So you understand, that's why police don't serve people that live in the garrison to be jurors. Them use people who are educated and but that's how the system work. You understand? So yeah, so the foreman's announcement of the unanimous verdict of guilty of murder was audibly due to the tumultuous noise from the crowd outside, some of whom were pressing their body close to the courtroom door. Asked if he had anything to say before death sentence passed, the accused said quietly, I am innocent, sir." Crowds stampede and swarm outside the court's precinct to catch a glimpse of Campbell being taken away in the police van. But they were duped as the van drove off without him and he was taken from the building by another exit. He was sentenced to death on March 28, 1975. But a new trial was ordered after his appeal was allowed by the Court of Appeal. Following the second trial, Campbell was again convicted by a jury and sentenced to death on June 17, 1976. His subsequent appeal to the United Privy Council was dismissed on October 10, 1981. So it took 5 years after them convict him a second time for his case to go to the Privy Council. And none listening. After that, the Jamaican Privy Council reviewed his case and ruled that the prerogative of mercy should not be exercised. So saying, it ruled further that the court's decision stood and that the law should take its course and the death sentence be carried out. Following his execution March 1982, Campbell's body was buried in the prison compound. So not even him family, you see, that's what I tell you, you see the difference with culture, not even with the policeman family want nothing to do with him because he killed somebody. He murdered the man over his wife. You understand? If it's now, you know, Cambodia get a heroes welcome in a nice community by family members and people of the community. But you see then, this policeman had killed a man and not even his family claim him body. They have to bury him in prison. You understand? If nobody no want nothing to do with him. That's how the culture used to be. It's not like now where people, criminal dead, a man have carriage and white horse and all kind of madness. They're not supposed to get no respect. But anyway, it's money making for the funeral homes. So when we tell her that Siaga pop a man's neck, a policeman's neck, this is it. You understand? So, you know, anything that we say about this man, you know, that's why we say we love Siaga, because Siaga is a man who love Madden and him love the workhouse. That's why we love Siaga, because Siaga can make us safe. Those who do not like him, too bad for you. You understand? There's no human being on earth that is perfect. The only perfect human being ever that existed on earth was the Son of God, Jesus Christ. And none of us come close to him. So we don't expect Siaga to be a perfect human being, and he wasn't. No one is perfect. But the reason why we put Siaga on a pedestal as a Jamaican, as a youth, born and grew in the belly of the beast, a PMP community, because he was a no-nonsense prime minister. That's the reason. And he made us safe. Not only safe, he don't make us feel safe, he make us safe. And that's the most important thing. There's no other prime minister in my lifetime growing up in Jamaica make us feel safe, even yours truly. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.